Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Listen, there are 10 things that every man should carry EDC wise, otherwise you're doing it all wrong. Now I want to jump right into it, but first, listen, if you're the type of person that likes man cave stuff, ED stuff, go ahead, hit that subscribe button below. Make sure that you're absolutely turning on notifications so you get notified every time we post something new here on the channel. Now listen, there are things you need to carry on your person, you can carry on your body, a sling bag, whatever the case may be, in your vehicle, but you should be EDCing these things every day. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, hands down, is a good old, and you probably can guess it, a pocket knife. This here specifically is the Mini Griptilian by Benchmade. Now, you know, if you're not going to be crazy, always wanting to get into the world of EDC, you know, I suggest Benchmade is a good starter. You know, the Griptilian is absolutely, that's something that has a lot of good action. This is the Mini Griptilian. This is something that you can beat on. It has really good scales. It's really reliable. Yes, obviously you could use it to carry, to pick up packages and all that good stuff. But, you know, I'm carrying today on me a Benchmade Bug Out. This is their 535 series. This is made with the aluminum scales. So you can get something very, very inexpensive, sort of like this Mini Griptilian here, which is about $99. So sometimes a little bit more than that. You know, it is coming in with the nice S30V steel, which is a really good grade of steel. It's a good type of steel that you can easily sharpen. Whereas this Bug Out here is coming in with M390 steel. So this is like a $240 knife. So if you do get into that world and you seem to like it a lot, then yeah, you know, you can definitely splurge. But at a minimum, you should keep a blade on you, at least for the purposes of being able to, you know, cut cordage, be able to open boxes. But you can also use this to protect yourself. So make sure it's legal in your state. Definitely keep yourself into the world of possibly carrying a knife on you. So the next thing that I carry on my person every single day is always a pen and paper. So if I'm carrying it in my pocket, I tend to lean towards carrying something smaller. This is a Big Idea design pen. This one is actually made of, I think, of the copper, and it's already starting to get some nice patina on there, real easy to function, and this fits very nicely in my pocket. You can also just get a nice traditional Write in the Rain pen and keep that in your pocket as well. This is kind of more like their bullet style pen. Or if you want to kind of step it up a little bit, you can go for the Bastion Boat Action Pen, which I really enjoy this thing. You can pick this thing up on Amazon. Really luxury feeling. And all of this, I normally either have a Write in the Rain notepad in my back right pocket, or I'll also have field notes in my pocket as well. Now, here's the reason why I like to carry a pen and pad and not just simply rely on my phone. We always have a phone in our pocket. I get that. But what if you need to leave a note for somebody? What if you need to leave a message? What if you need Tinder, right? So you also cannot just use this for the purposes of messages and stuff like that, but you'll have it as a redundancy if you ever needed to start a fire. So listen, if you're getting good content out of this video, make sure you hit that like button below. Anything that you see here, I'm gonna try to leave a link down below. Some of those will be affiliate links, so if you use those, no additional cost to you, and we'll appreciate that around here. Now, on my person every single day is a watch. Now, you may think to yourself, listen, you have your phone in you, you know, why do you need to carry a watch? First of all, it's more convenient, in my opinion, to just look down at my wrist and check out what time it is versus pulling my phone out of my pocket. Normally, I like to grab a watch that has a timer function. I also like to have a watch that has a date function. So I have two examples of watches that I wear quite often. This here is the TicWatch Pro. This is the 2020 edition. They've updated a couple of times since then, but I really like this watch. This is a watch that runs Wear OS by Google. So this is really good. I carry an Android phone. But this is the thing I like about this watch. So yeah, it's you know, it's the normal smartwatch, sort of like the Apple Watch, but it does have one up on Apple that can't be duplicated. So the TicWatch has a secondary screen, which you can kind of see there, right? And that screen is their secondary screen, which will last up to 45 days. So when this watch is running near 3%, it will turn this first screen off. It will go down to this secondary screen, and that secondary screen gives me key information. It tells me the date, tells me my step counter, and it tells me the time. I can also add a couple of more features on there if I want to, you know, but that screen will stay for 45 days. So at a minimum, yes, it's a digital watch, you know, but at least I have that time. I think these are still priced at about 200 bucks. If you're not trying to spend any big bucks on anything like that, you know, I always recommend going with something simple like a Casio G-Shock. Now, the Casio G-Shock, I love their watches. I always want to make sure I get a G-Shock that has, once again, it has the date function, it has the time function, a timer function, and usually they feel really good on the hand. They're made mostly of plastic, and then the middle part itself has a lot of metal build and plastic, but you know, these come in anywhere from 35 to 99, 120 bucks, depending on which one you choose, you know, but just make sure you have a timepiece on you. And in my opinion, it's kind of low key cool to be able to collect watches and all that good stuff. So the next thing I absolutely recommend that you carry on your person at all times is a flashlight. I get it. You have a cell phone, it has a flashlight. If your cell phone doesn't have a flashlight on it, then that's a little weird and you might want to upgrade your cell phone. However, your cell phone flashlight might be good for taking a look under an ottoman. You dropped a remote. Maybe you're trying to navigate some dark stairs in a movie theater or something like that. You know, you can use your cell phone flashlight for that. Cell phone flashlights usually have tons of spillage, and it's also depleting your cell phone battery. I like to carry a dedicated flashlight that uses a AA or AAA battery. That way I can replenish that on the fly. This is the Olight. This is their i5T. Now their i5T, they just came out, I think, with the i5R, which is rechargeable. The i5T runs off of a AA battery, and it comes in a lot of different colorways, but it's just nice to have because, you know, you're going to be able to illuminate an area much longer than your cell phone. What if you're working on the side of a road? You want to illuminate a tire that you're trying to change. You need to illuminate the engine bay of a vehicle because you're trying to diagnose something that's going on. What if you need to keep your flashlight illuminated for 30 minutes for whatever reason, right? You're in some type of emergency situation. You normally don't want to run your cell phone battery that long. Another option that you may want to consider is the Phoenix LD02. One thing I like about this is it does have the low beam, it has the high beam, but it also has this UV light, which I don't know if you can see that on camera, which I like to carry this around because you can take this into a hotel, shine on the sheets, make sure they clean the sheets really well so it sees body fluid and all that type of stuff, which sounds gross, but just carrying something like this in your pocket is really useful. Now, how do I carry this stuff? My right pocket is for my folding knife for the day and also my keys. My left pocket is the flashlight I'm carrying for the day and for this next item, which is a multi-tool. If you don't want the redundancy of carrying both a folding knife and a multi-tool, especially a lot of multi-tools having a knife on it, you probably can drop the folding knife. I wouldn't recommend that, especially for quickly being able to protect yourself, especially in those areas when you can't carry a boomstick. However, here's a couple of suggestions that I have. You know, I have the Leatherman Curl. I really like the Leatherman Curl. Very, very getting back to the basics, American-made multi-tool. You can access the blade from the outside of the tool without exposing the pliers, which is a nice thing. You can also access the file from the outside of the tool. When you get inside that tool, you get a nice set of 4-in-1 pliers that has wire crimpers and strippers and actual needle nose and regular pliers all in one. And my favorite feature, of course, having tons and tons of tools on the tool itself, but my favorite feature for multi-tools lately has been a pair of scissors, which has come in handy more often than you can imagine. So I definitely enjoy these as well. If you want something that's a little bit smaller, easy to fit in like slacks, it doesn't have to have a pocket clip or anything like that, you can always go with a good old Swiss Army knife. This is a Victorinox Huntsman, which I absolutely love. Plenty of tools in one. You know, you got your corkscrew, you got a saw. You know, the only difference with, you know, the big difference with the Leatherman and the Victorinox is most of the tools on the Victorinox are accessed via a finger pull, right? So you pull a little finger pull to access each of these. It does have a pair of scissors. It has a saw. It has a fixed blade. You know, so a lot of those tools that you're going to get out of the Curl, you're also going to get out of the Victorinox, minus the fact it doesn't have a plier. Now, if you want to kind of keep it a little bit more minimum than that, you can also get the Griffin pocket tool. Now, this here is I think this is their basic or their standard. Comes in at I think about 25 bucks. This is made of solid steel. Now the thing I like about this, it has multiple tools in one: a pry bar, Phillips head screwdriver. It has a couple of open wrenches there, a bottle opener. This is kind of like a key loop, so you can put your keys on here. So something a little bit more minimalistic and still have the ability to have a small multi-tool with you to get a few things done. Now, the next thing that's probably gonna be on your body, at least you should be EDC in this item, is a wallet. Now, a lot of men have gotten away from carrying a wallet or using the Apple Pay and all that good stuff. And that's good. Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, any of those pays, having your card on your phone is cool. But what if you get to an area where they don't have the point of sale machines, they don't take Apple Pay, all that good stuff? It's going to be nice to have a traditional wallet, you know, at a minimum, have a few items in it, probably your driver's license, your health insurance card, maybe one credit card, something like that. A couple of options here. You know, if you're really, really big into the RFID technology, then you can look into this Lewis and Clark wallet. Very, very simple. You know, you have enough room here to slap a couple of items in. It has a clip in it. You can clip this on the outside, but this is still easily carried in the front pocket. You know, it's not the most durable material, but it's easily replaced, and I think it's relatively inexpensive, coming in around 10 bucks. You want to spend a little bit more. This is one of my everyday carries. This is by Wingback. It's a company out of London. This is genuine top grain leather. I like the fact that you can get it customized. So I got my customized name on the front. My favorite thing about this wallet is that there is no inner lining, right? So normally the first thing to go on a wallet is the inner lining, the thing that keeps the wallet rigid. They don't have that here. You know, plenty of room to carry plenty of items here, and you fold this back, you can put cash in and all that good stuff on the inside. Now, another wallet that I recently have been trying out lately has been by Three Sons Leather, and they use top grain, high quality leather, which I really, really enjoy. I love the fact that they're always, you know, they're giving you information about their wallets when it comes in. And this is enough room to carry quite a few cards. The thing I like about this is that all these can be front pocket carried, but you need to stay in the habit of carrying a wallet with you, because you do not know when you're going to not be able to use your cell phone to make a payment. Speaking of carrying a wallet, if you want to, you can keep the next most important thing that you should carry on you at all times, which is cash. A lot of us are getting away from carrying cash. I don't actually carry cash in my wallet. You may have seen I opened that wallet. There was no cash in there. But I always have emergency cash in my keychain. You guys may have seen the video about this keychain. This is by the Wingback company as well. There is an emergency $20 bill in there just in case I need to be able to pay for something. What if I need gas? The gas station's credit card processing machine is down. I got some cash. What if I need food? What if I need to barter? You have a lot of different things you can do with cash, especially in an emergency situation. Make sure you got some cash on you. In my opinion, you should have at least $20 on you, if not more, in several different places. Speaking of an emergency, you need to have some cordage on you. Now, some cordage, you might want to have nylon, you might want to have Kevlar, whatever the case may be. I usually tend to just keep 550 cord in my truck at all times. This is a lot to always have or to remember to have with you, but this is going to get you about 50 feet of good 550 cord. However, it may be a little bit more simple to just simply wear a little bit of 550 cord on your wrist, and you can easily wrap this up yourself. If I were to unravel this, this is going to give me about 6 to 7 feet of 550 cord, which is going to be very handy in a pinch. You know, this can be a makeshift shoestring or bootlace in an emergency. You can also use 550 cord for an emergency tourniquet. What if you're trying to carry like a water bottle? You know, you're having an evac and you don't want to have to physically carry an Nalgene bottle or a water bottle. You can now use 550 cord to tie that down. Recently, I used 550 cord with one of my buddies. We went to go get a couch. We bought it online and we realized we didn't have enough tie down. He didn't have enough ratchet straps. Able to grab some 550 cord I kept in my truck and, you know, use that to tie down the couch. Not an emergency, but it was nice that we had that. So the next thing that hands down you need to keep with you, you know, you can at a minimum keep a Bic lighter with you, but I recommend that you carry a cigar lighter with you. You know, it usually does have a little bit more power to have that butane because you can have a higher flame. You can have a higher flame, a higher torch, something like that. So this is a Zippo lighter, but it has a Thunderbird insert. I do like the Thunderbird insert because unlike Zippo, you can see how much butane you have remaining, right? And so Thunderbird, they make some really good inserts. You know, so this one has a flame strong butane, which would be really good for starting some tinder. You know, and Zippo, this is a double butane, you know, and this is a soft butane. All of them are going to be good if you have to start a fire, but I recommend that you have the ability to start a fire because you never know where you're going to meet an emergency situation where you just need to keep warm, even if it's just for a few hours, right? Last year, there was a lot of winter storms here in Texas. People were getting stuck in their vehicles. People were getting stuck in their houses. You know, in your house, I'm assuming you have different ways to be able to start a fire. But what if you're stuck in your vehicle, right? And you just want to be able to burn a candle, burn something small inside the cabin of your vehicle to stay warm. You might want to have a lighter with you to do that. So the next thing I want to talk about is for also in support of those emergency situations. We normally always have our cell phone with us. We're not using the flashlight on our cell phone in an emergency, you know, but we want to use the cell phone for its intended purposes. Make phone calls, do text messages, stuff like that. Keep a couple of battery banks on you, at least one at a minimum. This is an Anchor. I think this is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. The battery in my phone is about 4,100 milliamp hours. So this will charge my phone twice from 0 to 100%. It's more than likely my phone won't be at 0. So this will probably get good 3 charges out of it, you know. I also keep with me at almost at all times this RAV Power 30,000 milliamp hour battery. I really like having this with me because obviously it can charge my phone. This can charge bigger devices. So if I need to charge some flashlights, if I need to charge emergency equipment, I have emergency lanterns in my truck. If I fail to charge those or I need a quick charge, I can pull this out and get a good charge. Can also charge computers with this thing. It lasts for hours and hours and hours. It can bring my computer from 0 to 100% before it dies. So it's really awesome. The last thing I absolutely recommend that you carry with you at all times is water. At least a bottle of water. Yes, for you to drink, but it's also important to have bottled water with you for wound care. What if you get into some type of incident where you need to clean a wound? It's nice to have clean water. I normally will carry this Nalgene bottle with me, and I usually will just fill it up, you know, at the beginning of the day or before I leave the house, and I have water. This is 32 ounces of water, which is really nice. At a minimum, I'll keep this in my truck as well, empty. So at a minimum, if I need to just get some water, I'll be able to have the ability to have water. But wound care is important. Having water is important. But hey, listen, tell me your thoughts. What are some things that you definitely keep on your EDC list? Is there anything on here that you absolutely wouldn't carry? Is there anything that you would add to your EDC? Is there anything specifically for your spouse that you would recommend? Thinking about coming out with something like that, pepper gel, stuff like that. We can talk about that. But listen, this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. We would love to have you a part of the battalion. Once again, thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time here, for everybody else, we'll speak soon.